Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It's May's TBR, and this month we are doing something a little bit different. I have texted one of my best friends 6 prompts, yeah, and options for each prompt that I already either physically own or own on my Kindle, because it technically wasn't a goal of mine to read a ton of books off my Kindle, but because I have 40 pages of books on there, just on the menu to choose which books, I decided that I should try and read some of those. So I'm going to quickly go over the options that I gave Amanda. She's texted me back 5 times, I think, so she has 1 more left, but I'm not going to look at what she said until after we chat. Okay, that was the last text. I heard it. So, we are going to just go over the different options that I gave her and why I gave her that many options. I think she's texted me back more times than I texted her. We'll see. Okay. So, the first choice was any of my nonfiction right here, which there's Chicken Soup, Disney, true crime scattered throughout, Fast Food Nation, Scary Facts, Sickened. It's a true story about a sick child, which I can relate to. This one is about feminism. There's Serial Killers. Send in the Idiots is about autism. I really want to read that. I think this would help me with my final project in school. And then there's just like a lot of different things that I'm interested in reading. So that's number 1. Number 2 was this stack right here. Just these ones. So one of my goals this year was to not be afraid of series, and I've actually finished a couple series this year so far. I really want to start the Dexter series. This Another Day by David Levithan would be the end of the Everyday series. A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. I'm pretty sure that's the start of a series. High Society and I'd Tell You That I Love You, but then I'd Have to Kill You by Allie Carter. They are both middle grade series. Children of the Lamp. This is a fairy tale retelling, so it's fantasy, which is outside my comfort zone and would be the start of a series. Delirium by Lauren Oliver is kind of like a dystopian type book, I think. The Indian in the Cupboard trilogy. So the whole trilogy. If she picks this one, I'm only reading the first book. I'm not going to be that crazy. And then Arch Enemies is the one that I'm hoping she picks. It's by Marissa Meyer. It's the second in the Renegade series, and she knows that I really loved it, so maybe she'll be a kind soul and pick Arch Enemies for me. Okay, and then number 3 is Hostage. So these ones I either really, really want to read or I'm not really in the mood for them right now. Hostage is at the top of the ones that I really want to read. Like, soon. Sorry about that. I had to fix the lighting situation here. But let's go back to these. So Hostage is at the top of the ones that I really want to read. Now You See Her, I'm indifferent about. Like, honestly, I could pass right now. Generation Dead, I think this is the one she's going to pick, but I don't know if it's the one I want to read right now. Gone Too Far, I can always read Natalie D. Richards' book. Her Every Fear by Peter Swanson would be my first Peter Swanson, but I could do that. Dangerous Angels, it's kind of a fantasy about a dark angel falling in love with a light angel, if I remember correctly. I don't really care right now. The House, I'm not really in the mood for a haunted house, which is weird because I would love to read Nightwood. It's not a haunted house, but it's scary. Then Abraham Lincoln, The Vampire Hunter, I could pass for right now. Neverworld Wake has been at the top of my TBR for a long time, and yet I still haven't read it. Stolen is a letter from this kidnapped victim to her captor. It seems pretty interesting. Home, I recently read Harlan Coben's Runaway, which was the first book that I've read by him, and I loved it, so I would like to read that. The Sorority, I don't know if I want to read it right now. It sounds really good, but something's just, I'm not like in the mood for it, I guess. So I showed her this page and let her pick. So there's Love Under Construction, Nana Cole, Marked, Maybe It's You, Melody Grace, and The Bradens. The last two, we're just going to quickly go over them. They are on my TBR cart because they are my most anticipated, like, the books I think I'm going to love the most. So, honestly, whatever she picks here, I'm going to be extremely happy with. There might be a couple that I'm hoping for more than others, but in general, I think it'll be good. So, let's go. Okay, so the first one is this whole top row from 4321 all the way to the Ravens. Honestly, I'm not really in the mood for a holiday read, but I do love Christina Lauren. They are amazing. So if she picks that, I wouldn't be too upset, but I was hoping to read that during Christmas. And then this is a survival story, which I think sounds great. I know Amanda read this one and sent me this copy because she had an extra one. So she might pick that one. I know we were talking about How to Make Friends with the Dark, but she's never read it. I don't know if she'd pick it or not. I know she sent me this book, so I'm saying it's going to be either a good idea or in a holidays. Maybe in a holidays, which, that's fine. And then I know we were talking about the Ravens. I think she owns the Ravens, so we want to do that as a buddy read. I'm almost positive. And then the last pairings that I have here is The Return, which is supposed to be a horror thriller. Still Missing by Chevy Stevens is another thriller. The Window is a thriller. Vanishing Girls, Watch the Girls, The Girl in 60. These are all thrillers. And then what comes next is like a horror thriller. Okay, and then Bat Vampire is a parody about vampires, which just sounds so funny and so cute. And then Rules by Emery Lord. Is it Emery Lord? No, Cynthia Lord. This is a middle grade about this girl who has a brother who has autism, and I would love to read that. Leave the World Behind was a book of the month pick a couple months back. I think it was a thriller. The Ghost Tree is horror again. And then All These Beautiful Strangers is a YA thriller. So it's mostly thriller.
It's a different day.
Or horror.
Yesterday, when we filmed this video, I ended up having a lot of technical issues. So we are actually going to go through May's TBR. So, yesterday you saw that I was texting my friend prompts, and you saw the 6 different prompts and the options for each one. So today I'm going to tell you which ones she picked and if I was right or not. So the first one was the nonfiction pick. I honestly did not have a prediction of what Amanda was going to pick. I had no idea. But she ended up picking Sex Object by Jessica Valentini. This is a memoir, but it touches on feminism and sexism and about rape culture, how when a woman gets raped, she is blamed. So victim blaming, and how, you know, people are like, well, if her skirt wasn't so short, then it wouldn't have happened. But I have tried to read this once, but it's a very dark topic, a very hard, hard-hitting nonfiction, but I think I'm ready for it. So this is the first book on May's TBR.
Hey!
Do you want to get a new home?
Stop. Don't look at me like it's her fault. It's your fault.
He's picking on my other dog.
You're worse than toddlers.
Okay, and then this next one is the only one that she didn't pick. We have a book club with Michael and Amanda and I. So if you want to read this book with us, feel free to. So it was my month to pick. So I picked Then She Was Gone by Lisa Joel, which is an intimidating book for me because it's about this girl named Ellie who disappears. I think she's kidnapped, but I don't know. She just disappears, and her mom is finally starting to, I mean, I don't think you'll ever get over something like that, but she's trying to move on. It's like 10 years later, and she starts dating this guy who, when she meets his daughter, his daughter looks suspiciously like Ellie. And that's all that I know. That's all I want to know. Okay, and then these ones Amanda picked too. So, from my TBR cart, she picked The Ghost Tree by Christina Henry. This is the only one that I'm not 100% sold on because I found Christina Henry, like, she's very hyped. So I was like, okay, I would rather get one of her retellings, but I couldn't find one. So this is about teenagers going missing and then their bodies being found without body parts. And this girl has a vision of some kind of monster. I'm not really into, like, creature features or creature books, but I'm gonna try and go in, thinking that's gonna be good. And then this one, I thought Amanda was either gonna pick In a Holidays or A Good Idea by Christina Morco. She picked A Good Idea.
This is about best friends Finley and Betty, and Finley moves away for college, and Betty's gonna meet Finley there, but then Betty goes missing, and Finley comes back to the small town to figure out what happened to Finley's best friend. What? Hi. Come here. Okay, and then the last two, I kind of thought Amanda might pick this one too. So, is it cheating to put a book on there that I figured she would pick? I'm gonna say no because she picked it. Generation Dead by Daniel Waters. This deals with like real life human problems, but when zombies exist with zombies. We're going with it. And then the last one was the sequel that Amanda got to pick. One of my goals was to read more series this year, and I feel like I'm doing pretty good. She picked Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer, which is the best book she could have picked. I am beyond ecstatic for this, so I kind of want to just start reading it today, but it's not May, so I won't. I cannot tell you about Arch Enemies because it's the sequel to Renegades, but Renegades is about the heroes named the Renegades, who maybe aren't always good. Maybe the villains aren't always bad. Maybe there's room to meet in the middle, and it's about like vengeance and revenge and secret identities and superhuman powers and dystopians, and you need to read it. But I'm so excited. I would have picked this book too, so now I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching my May TBR. It was a little bit different. Let me know in the comments below if you liked me having someone else pick my TBR, because maybe next month I'll have my hubby do it. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me.